About your main courses here. Honorable Frank Annoh Dompreh, Minority Chief Whip, MP for Sawam Adwajiri. Producers in a year 20 years. I can pay some mommy powder. Don't you say, oh, my bro. And can see your bonus rate, It's not easy. But my name in Sawam Adwajiri, the NDC for ne power. My name, Abia Umu Duru Brosso. Won't put them too much. My main corner, Honorable Frank Annoh Dompreh, me man, Jummy man, Asaasepa 107.3. Social media handles in India, Juma, which my joining NCC, Asaasepa 107.3. Maybe ding the Bonohene Bafowa. Honorable Majo.
Hey, Vinia, Major, so.
Also, I feel.
What's this?
Lumba Bonyumbi. I say, Kojo, one who offend to do Chromua. Na many agina me mabuafu. Menim so one who offend here and this 4 years I so not Dragiro.
Mami, that was it.
Right.
When you producer and the entire production team, any who titu. I was a Udini the agent, huh?
Okay.
Baby, and your voice is so unique. They happen that it gives you out.
Thank you.
Madam was set, Mamma Miss Quaint Cassiers and Betramophidi Cassier so. No yam shake titru pa mama and I don't take it for granted. Beside Papu Chow, some fanchame. Nanka is a yeno nano and near see a rashiko. A Santa Region said you nim Lukumase. In the animal to ranch about 2 or more market age at 2 more near see a cock. And as the chief whip as the chief organizer, there's a Bishana Bibia a Costa de Yin and near Shen until Nuntin main to me amba and you're just a booming butia crowd.
Right. Yamamosu near Juma. None of the Diana Kufudia High Court. Omubo Shri Catcher said there be. So back here, and this is for court to say about to a course once a woman at Duajino. Electoral process, no, Mrane yam family quine so, and they did to me no essay. Honorable Frank Annoh Dompreh and 17 court no way. Nasi Bessia cooking can use a record to Cotua Bafufuru Yenkoye, but court to the general Nasu Kufudia High Court. As I say, there be your family quine so pay and the ye bibia. Did he come a bit more trim Kwanamo of Frimu? Namimisa say, why? Then NDC for the perfume.
Well, did he kind of me maybe pick intel said I was one of their target. Called 2024 elections, no one near Bremen to spar, but Nami Nims a sanet yet to the extent that year to Abania Kofa, a tutor for female be brave over thousands of in Crawford, said you macho man, a big at 2 needs a kind of bar. I'm a video now was all over the place. Now, as I was me retracing my steps a crap. You're 2 about my bonnet offer in Kumasubwa. You're 2 about ye, Najumu, na Bob 11 p.m. called 12 midnight. Now, you some must start it. Ni pabi, any baby am free. Or baby brace, a Martin so Mobu dying gate, just a vandalizing all school properties. Wohonomo. Na young croft for cried obia to him. Koye baby, and nippon baby at over heart to him.
Mima Danema.
Minia, they coming kutu.
Wow.
Minkuto, Moko fam, Amudosun. When you mean Chade, I saw your force some mobile, and at times, Rebecca. At that night, Nana, Yeba Mambechin, Dr. Baumia so conceded defeat. Tina Shamun crime. And I'm so well, Mimi, dear, until say I can't last pink shit in India, and Yadia Babes or if you crum hano.
Be a move.
Oh, Debbie, we Sabio, school I'm the coy in Memma school I'm the coy, and see. I share near Dean Kakao. And I'm assuming Mrs. Sabio be no between Bibia. As long as being from his uncle can be, that means she'll be into quack, mean the can will be a dear. Ain't he a quiet dear Deans and no come with some share presiding officer, no? Promotion the kitty, no declare. Timmy Kakranka cracker me ma soldier form the police for be bomb who bind your far presiding officer and the share come the deep journey. Into no Korean Akame, a castle free hall, Minia. Police in Subu Akasebo, Nagasa Brebro, a boar mo pie me. Say, just a parliament kai cramu say Nina. Nancrofor would detroit to the extent I mean, so much that Chrom so mun detroit. Me more be Johnny and also me more than 22. Echo ye who ya. Ye we no. Afei, what was with Dean Kunim? A dear yen so mouse with Dean Kunim, your pink shit no. What a pink shit no. almost pink sheet in na, but no more if you say so. Share CI the year 2024 elections now.
Constitutional instrument.
Yes, and ma options pink sheet no. Your original copy a year electoral office and the KP, and then your ma duplicate copies at the ma reps no, a political party reps no. In the event of a moment them running by, is a way dear say a bit more of a way dear as a buffer. Ain't he? Tama money in Crawford, Mubun Crawford, Motiti electoral commissioners for the na we set up a buffer system. Your resource now, near scanning resource now. All 203 polling station pension near scanning
backup.
Backup. It's our Motiti pension, no money say or backups one more. See a 2 year then, yes, okay. I'm collate 160 polling station out of 203. Now, someone pay my uncle beam. No moon or din could him. Can you imagine?
Now, what did my yanking can you?
Ain't he? We are seeing say Beko food ya your regional office, East regional office, how could declare. And also see a call, only continue for ya, but some my yanking kind. You flew a course, take and someone penny, your bar test on Waha, I'm someone penny. And now your legal counsel, Gary Marcos said there be. He will come under, make an application to High Court for an act of mandamus. So one share easy because constitution no quite so no so quality no declare. I mean charge your court na court so man quite say go declare. No quality na IGP my bambo mu odene ye. Na so hu say na no mo takra wo gem bibi wo mo di sie ntino. Tama High Court ma order say mo koye coalition and declare no omo decide so mo mbakra because he realize say so mo ba mo ni be the call quality ye and omo declare me. We are the chair no masan table the court Supreme Court. And then all of I think all 9 of us normally a court Supreme Court. Yamin Chadi, Yamia Diobe no we me dear and I think one other constituency and Supreme Court Justice said no dear it should be sustained. And in the new no masan table yes I the Cocofodia. Into Cofodia you go back and forth I think there was a strategy. So you're disrupting so that you can concentrate in Parliament. But na me media essence na ye won nyina so ntino na de omo ye nyina na mmo mi hu because I don't dey odi back kan back ho amienu
yeah
inti na anu ya woda ena atemu abofo no e di na temu bai na asem kan na ye de kra ne se ohun se krofo na ebo payo because na bibia di adanse se medi nkunim ena na titiru na court bar time so a rule yakase medi nkunim ti on tia se so mo san tabi ade no e de ba High Court e ba bedwana so
because ade Supreme Court atena so wie de na sign the Kokofodua
Supreme Court etena so wie no so only court ni nya adwan you would have called for review mo anyesa into wie no san bomb ka 25,000 so muntia and for me as a first respondent ti ga me charge di nyina nkamfu ano me gidi say so hunu bebre wa abato a course 2024 but the teacher I didn't tell me brand is oban so my no bebre it wasn't much about projects and infrastructure
right me bounce see but and then I'm a Obama because obi a back for standalone they said the whole kan Dr. Lajima Mubo mi ababontin ja betu say John Dramani Mama na di nkunim ye gina so tintina ache ye de kwa na ye de abaha ye de fa ha na ye de akoha o secret then na ma ultimate gina strong
so menya o se bisabe my amanyo chem no ache me nyi bebre so ma di echira che
okay
ha ye wura so say bia na ti say dan kwai to say ye idea no ye papa da Gabi na de bai na ye me Gabi any atobra kwaku ye na form dan kwai institute
okay
na no ma ye student leader University of Cape Coast National News President mababa ye youth organizer mababa ye polling station adwuma ye bida intima just say I have been on the ground inti hu se wo sisi me hu se wo sisi and na face the essential me crying say me ti de esi won crying and the esi other constituency no ma me yem she me say there be see be losing all these seats your parliament your side na be empty ye nya omro mo ni adin beti be akọ ye battle ama party no and the tradition iti mi din say kantam say so owuo ni nkwankra
so me kraba to
so and we be na microphone nyina dwane jame me polling station for in fact Tom Modi a tutuafo ba polling station ho na me one another polling station me di pink sheet back wachi the former MC from sir honorable Emma because him kita se kind near tuo and I'm so we nipa say I am we nipa am say me police ni ba akopɛ any soldier ni ba akopɛ me me ba na me wura hall hodom na me nchade I got a good Samaritan to accompany me a ye wura ho na ne wonwa me nua nipa dom over thousands of people mu kita se kan ne atu o mu gina ho no me nkita hwe me ba no mkobochi and my singular mission na me call ho ne say me making sure say omon force electoral return officer no e ma declare.
Okay.
Because we declare we are after the court it makes it cumbersome.
Back and forth no be having.
Inti nyame nchade etimi yes ade no. Inti so usamia na ye experience kakra me wo. Na after na mati other results na mo mani abre.
Okay.
Said there be and ye be ko akosi awiye.
And then kwana won so mo adwaji ho. Well, what is happening?
Oh well me baby omo na yes obusa question but I think some mini seat no. Omo dream say and the lead up to our presidential primaries, then candidate John Mahama was also one number 4 branch officers ni mu. Okoshia omo no ekokom ehyiemu no koye. Okacho mo say bibi biombe ya oma member parliament bi omo nyema member parliament. Ina bibi say ade nti o say no me na me ha omo. Na bi no me bi am person me bi the parliament bi am me pass me bo mo pass they should make sure I don't come. It's almost so submit a quambia some member.
Because we had
well, a mama dream no sana yomo. Now, said you say I can see an easy. Mimi no kwakusia kanya. Mean now, I'm so one day now be a kwakusia can mean you know my own simi. And we remember so. It's not so my reactor so now. I did nya say. So I'm saying the last election near war 97 registered voters. 97 registered voters, turn out to only 50,000 pen tuaba. Into about 47,000 one tuaba. So 47,000 our strongholds.
Because MPP for
you win pa. Because Moody said no money abira on person barber, Muncho Moody will be NDC Nibia showed up to vote. Your strongholds say Hadreji. Damai, Jankrum East, Jankrum West, baby, ye di mana kesia boy no. Yankrofona mama betoaba. And that's what cost us. It's yen so and only Yankrofona can say yo, ya pamucho, ye ni mo, and if you be at and I wouldn't afraid Ranti said I could tell from you. Me who flew a Nicosia. So I didn't come. Ya say yen show mine. Yen from Kwame Nkrumah Resubesiene. Ghana, yenyina o man Ghana yenyina ye man. Na aban sesa na wakoye sesa bi mpreduasa ye di ekurita na esi na je say obuwa wo je say wa wo nya NDC bi se wo nya nipa o. Bono hene se dai ko ba o man mu. So wo nya NDC ni you are not a card bearing member of the NDC. Wo nya obi o kasa ma NDC ni wo nya Ghana ni bi.
To safety cry who.
And no na ma o man yi na me de bi gidi say Impedise futu de ensakra nipa agin so hwe ye kan ye Ghana for ye catch him se papa ye nimu no first join hu de obeye in fact ye wura a wonya ne baby call ye wura Tamils amemu ano mbu a na wam ba mo wu be fa no nyame fa de kransie a papa be gi ye wura Tamils amemu ano obu no owie we odi ye no osam ba the second John to say third John aye west because he say no oni obi ani akuntabuo bia because the constitution is limited no this is 4 years last time 4 years until then there oni obi owebu akuntabia they cancel when nyina kire Ghana for yes o there be MPP for mama man ye mo ade ya mama o man mo ade yes say Ghana for nsase yes say Ghana nsuo nti omo na mo gina simpie so eko nsuo tifia ko ho na ba na afo bebusa se ho na ho ye ene ye hwe omo ene bibi omo ye gina o timu se hwe aban yi ba ye But when you say onya boso mi nsiampo
abeso mi ensa o saye
na so beka se de onya 1 year u beka se de onya 1 year na me me su omo dede me nka so mu wo mfa me ko from now we see November no obia wo man we behu sa ampa be se pani ko nya haban ye okwan ya tase no
right ya baba oni adi nkomo na fe yanhwa mighty minority Nipa 88. Metrasidin na mama kai ma flashback 1997 ABC ye eni bia so na wo so na chief organizer Edema Edomkuma no e wo man emra Shebedwafie. Dedi kan mu wura o man emra Shebedwafie ninth parliament no e sheki ukakra wo hwe 88 against numbers no a NDC for no mo no a e wo so e sheki wo
well we no hear my kind of crunch was answer na be wura fie ho no so what is say we ni because so sure mo nkrofo no mo we ni are close to nipa be 70 plus omo ya foforo into ya tise we city ya Jeffrey ensem higher Jeffrey ensem no ebo ehu kakra say na ba ni say na ye kita 138 ni etimi hwere ni nyina shrink ya to be babedu 88 na ehu no kwasam ni say at that point no na ehu ebo ye kakra but ye ko fie ho registration no na ehu nkrofo no sabio me mbu amonimutia ehu nipa no ye call first session ehu omo
the class of people
yes and I'm catch afanyo say me azade say nya hu sa o say no be ku omodi and ye share ehu nkran they hu say we can't retrogress yetimi ko echi ye nima na ye say ko na ye san ko ye meeting na ye mpanifo bi ti say Ura Hackman ye Ura Dambotwe ye Ura Professor Eronokwe Ura Muhammadu Baumia kene Japan mu nyina ba e beka se ebusua ebi asida ye party ya bakosam kase ne se ye ko okodin ko yanim we don't know the fit yanim so ko na den de na so mu ko okon no e wa kokuduro kwan so and let your guiding principles be fighting for the truth, go by the constitution and your standing orders. And you start here adwuma nti start here adwuma no ba ko mienu hu se no enkrofo no kraza na esin bi eni omonum sa nti afa du ba bi no mo abo na e ba ye nchen okuku be pa e chew so we di esrem num ka chew
majority no mo mu dwane be pa ma chew minority no
there were times yetimi raise quorum no mo fetch air patch after having 187 several times yetimi raise quorum no mo nya mo numbers na mamen kasem we wo fidi kese so say na anu ye vetting e basa ye kosi
of course
no he mentam kese pa many fidi media manyo semachi bikai University of Cape Coast kokwa mi fi adroji me call University of Cape Coast na mi sua de ho ma san be ye Nooks president me bank crime ma betena public gallery na me hwe our icons ye papa Kufuado Osafo Mafu Aprakunu in their debates and bro here for 12 years plus amatna parliament meaning so what is me obi kuntokwa no me nyo obi ametesa ano de ebetimi ababai ano ebetimi you all the debates we can raise all the issues we can raise the motions yeah statement but to the extent that we get fiscal I've never done that me nya bibi sada now what here fonti na no asem see a chechire mu ya baba patch up for the records when we say Parliament vetting committee you were teaching your dano
okay
oh yeah as you see oh you know in times past na era or say usu is there here for the dano and minority that air ranking normally the convention and practice and they say obi o leader in parliament no so oba committee ni so your man a certain unlimited time to ask questions
okay
because the GDA said so member being to be the question or passing on to the leadership is a practice yeah
restricted no okay
it's down here koi yeah and before you be vetting biano yeah proud meeting yeah just can share near kase okay and then bia you be kojoniama
okay
na bia obia na you be a portion bia 1 hour nti ko share dan asem ni see na no pa no ye share sa meeting ahia ya na chair sa meeting ene agitum say ye be veti ni patre because ni aveti kakra na ye ko weekend ya veti ama obre ya aba obre ba sa so na obno he diminishing returns after some because you see nipa na o hwe wo fie no nim se wabre
to be say some club is an nyansa bia ni bio
and we are supposed to represent the people ye gina Ghana for to do no mo nyina onye obi na betu aba parliament ho no mo ditumi a share say ye mba gina o manemu iti ya pine say ye be na miensa eti miensa no ye wo mu ana hia for ba mi nchen no so o minia misrem ye ka say be miensa na so mo memfa kwabna minta kando and Fankahu, Nanya and 9. I'm catching me leader, Raf, and you so a candle, honestly, MP, because if you had a ban and not about Tichi. Into Ochin baby and a so. Into the a candle, you know, who should near some sa. What the young fan in county and 9. I am yan son of ye. And I ever buy a candle, no more see there be young suspend your candle, say, on person which I drink, Yan suspend your candle, no, near quiet the oil transport minister, and refiniding, transport minister, animum. And yes, Mukuriana must see any candle, but I'm saying here, now after what I enter 1 tower between a candle and the transport minister. I'm so media, me jamamo. The Omeka say, you be a become a bay and 9 be a bay. And on the transport minister, and buy. Ye transport minister, new year. Minya, ya sa a black qua, Sam George, one, no, empo, and you say a young vet in your so moon lie, say a number of vet in Nina. Yes, what the hell? Not sabi previous, so we empo na we ya. And so consider say we represent people. If you catch there, to train or yeah, I hear for first deputy speaker.
No raising concern, no.
And normally it's a tension, parliament's attention, yeah, but we call for a conclave. Conclave, no, as such as a moon breaky, na be a mean to me, so who has to be over me and then can. It's your question, say, let's call for a conclave and resolve this matter. Or say, no, they are in the majority, they are going to do it. I'm telling you, Minia. Once I some way no car, na independent tears here. I'm say, now what's here in your 3? Yeah, 4. I feel once I was sending per 7 hours a line. I dear son, I could 12. And that's why Friday, a people took our coincidence. I didn't the moon chairman, you from command the young Congo yet. Musum pay. Na Sabi, so be on your bear machine in young parliament. You're right here for also when you're senior to me. By virtue of so, we are teaching interest as a view, we are more of a parliamentarian than me. Now, I'm saying, there be maybe some medium Crawford, me more fire second from Jananka. The argument said, would disable the facilities so that by your won't mean your vetting input. Who do? And the family on which chief weapon, a really free in the side war and a man to quite buy. Or really free on the side, no buy a side.
No, so better.
Minim or buy no salt and put him, and a tampur is so him, and a mapping chain in a buy. Before Fidi can say so, whom say, a barn with Dania, but chamber, Baba apologize. Mr. Ghana for I have a lot of followers, I have fans. A yom we ya said, no moon pest hadiano. Yet the chopper unreservedly. The chopper the Magana force, I didn't see, you know. A tankasi. Now going forward, and ya dear be smooth, I see. Worst scenario, before you cook Nikaka. Nay, I can't answer much Ghana for so winning tina.
Mobility walk out.
And then we just in the chamber, the end your walk out.
Okay.
But BB say now, what can be on Tiasia? The other can be on Tiasia, ne a yard in Tokwa. Fiscal Tokwaya Badia.
Because I'm forced to just say, Samuka Bibiana, yes, a committee no, or Monfa Yejuma, Mukabibiani and Fan Yejuma, the end come on to now more I'm vector on Crawford. I'm for this is no. But
who said, the year and so my suspending veteran, and you got twice the following day. The following day, Nansen PPA for Kuji Black and some George in Nansen PPA. And came my own kind of mutual firma. They didn't answer when I said they ain't me. But see, when I in your woman said, Sabi, Bianco can't papa and your credit. So I didn't share in one senior money muswa. We have a duty, said, ever communicate to Magana for say, na dear Nico. Say, na your boo angel so. Say nice shit, decided to know, ain't me and cancer you my home. Yeah, decide to be more of a dignified retreat.
I told her be a yana Ghana for Binumua, probably a monte or my message of your Jumanasano or Muhu Dumkumano and people must with the phone say, more year destructive. It seems a person cabinet business. Ebe Cosso, Sabe Penetiana. There
be a bring as soon will be some into say, I send visa for to me be as and be puno. Because I'm a budget on my party. This was their first budget on my party. Yeah. Make me a catch-all. Make comfort to me. Let me comfort to me. On my budget on my party. On my movie on the damase. Dain't here. Because there were a number of a budget, you know. Uber presented budget statement in the year. A free BB estimate. And no figures, you know. estimate of figures, ebia keepers, any investment or every sector be you know. What the idea for any estimate but every sector. For every sector, any agencies estimate not the baba. Into what the budget you say I refer my finance committee, the estimate me call all the committees, they be energy, they call energy committee on transfer. Consider estimating in our bar. Then the committee will come up with what we call a report. Then Parliament, also person Parliament, you come by a motion. So the chair of the committee will come by a motion. Or the report in the now sector minister about the moving motion to seconded by the chair. The chair now present a report near debate. For all about like I said, almost 60%. Now ministers no more budget for, and I have every duty to insist and say, "Mungo for ministers in bra." But Yeshua said no. Yamu pass a budget in you to do our proper oversight.
Because now finance minister, deputy finance minister, leaders, no
later, and a finance minister started so by the time when we're getting to the bond and other financial bills are passing. It's your no, I'm not doing you any good. We are serving the people of this country. I said yes, say because one by budget here didn't change my forecast. We are the same people who help them. Standing orders anymore. Among coins set the new standing orders, the composition of the committee for vetting. Apart from the chair, the ranking, the deputy ranking, the whips, you co-opt other sector leaders.
Okay.
To say be a nominee, be a nominative for energy ministry. In Tobacco co-opt ranking member and chairman for energy.
Okay.
So that time na ye vetting no, na ye inform me your committees no.
That means a vetting no kwane mram so say
yes.
Because when you committee are obey there vetting by extension.
So the committees were not properly constituted because now other sector heads na say co-option no. Na inform me committee there.
But muja omo
ye ka say we are the masters of ye suggest here and in the order I think order 3 and mom can say TV stages are compromised. Ye suggest mom no one they didn't know about it. Ye suggest mom for that compromise to be made and say ko then ko sa vetting no. It is obi ka say minority ye mwa amemu ye obstruct ye distractia odipa no nim de oka. So obesha so now we allow the president to come and present or we are subject to debate. Into for the last 3 months, obia minority we has been very responsible. A minority.
Right. So, right. Honorable Bibisa, last quarter of 2024, Nenya easy Emma MPP or my chief organizer, Minimsena and Norman Koye. No maybe and say NDC Mashibja for boa na ye pass no money to me tumpon a point in time crowd almost a mumma or mum metna ho mamunye bibia. I'm on my Mashibja few speaker, Ekasi and suspended kakra as the Bessia bar, Yasia bar. Obi tinchena with your beka say na the microphone here win the wo can say Mokra boa NDC are buying bebre. Abusumi me and Sania NDC are buying a shen Jumasia. Now, why are you so being lenient to the NDC government?
We are not being lenient. One was a marine na and a chair said you only need a battle. How you banter depends on time. And more rain fee. Now you're 138 in a normal year 137. This time you're 88. So there's a significant difference. And then that's our time. So you walk a twaba. The tension was so high. And more rain fee. Nipa no tia komani mu nankasa no who are supposed to be a mediator referee no onu we na nia to nchen because onu no we hwire gina afa wa afa and so bibi bia ye bia no on hwe ensem ni say ohun so because ye hu say ansa na bia ba ko hia bia no na meeting bia di kan koso Asaasepa be go share no meeting be edi because it you bought you say omo come because meeting be dey akoso. But Indeed, at this time, I buy for Frabat, Shadia Coso, Crofia Yom Wajumu. Sakobasi and Passy budget, a very change my foca. The whole country will come to a standstill. And we are seeking to govern a country. We are not seeking to destroy a country. Indeed, the no, now you're on mine you don't see a ye. Your mom crying vetting, ye can't come home, ministerial, ye compromising ye in. We want them to constitute their government. Ye say they are going to fail. And we know. We say a Jumono to be yet. But say yamwa to this extent yet to me yam pass budgeter. It will be worse off. The country will be worse off. Now, so what's your name and also my boy? So my boy also become. Until we have shown responsibility, we have shown leadership. If you hope so be 9 o'clock, I'm to so 9 o'clock, I'm to so session starts at 10. 9, I'm to 107.3. And me, yeah, budget. Me na make sure mon printing room from one for report nimbra, waiting for a report wimbra me. That is leadership. It's yeah, Juma, I
didn't call 9 pepe, sir.
Me, I come here. Was a time a war by mono, now be a chief with majority. Sana me a major. And naturally, Sana be here, Umame 7 o'clock, me 6:30, 6:45, now be Ubuano. I come here. And seriously, now Obi on so to me, or was our Subano, the current room minister. Kwame, Johnson, no, so yeah, chief on the other side. No name is Sunsum Kapa in terms of timely delivery of work, businesses, and also coming to Uber report ya be Juma Taba be Juma. It's a no share parliament, I'm no man be brewer to be here. Make me so come. Now, no, me counterpart. Majority, chef, what you mean, you know, say, hey, I know, what can I be? Say, but the cuckoo got now, akpe now, akpere munye. No catch me say my buano, and you know, Uncle Parliament, he budget on passy bida, he had done Hubachino. And I'm so, we can do all our politics, but be of fair or mine ye, you would ye, and ya dear said, yes, yes, said Diagro. Now, ya pass the budget in a win, I feel na, Bonohini, ye baby fee any.
Okay.
Ye baby fee any him. Where we have to put the doors and where we have to cross the T's. BBBS a year in the budget. We'll go into it.
Right. Honorable Kana be say Mubura o my imra with 88 MPs, you know. It's a kill kakra. But all start to share class of people are Mumfanchami, Mumfa Manusi kakra. NDC for Mrashabuja for no muyano and ma mutri relaxing who say there be wait yet. Ibeti no mo ahia pa which Ghana for manifesting ama Ghana for nyina hu say mu ye na ma ye amana ye sustainability of it complacency say ye hu nkrofo we omuni sen enti tambia de nsabe hye o manum say ya but woni beti no na bia nipa no afifi sen sa da no de be kawo ye be dia sustain sa expertise ya ye de ye adwuma ewo mayi mra se dwafie again complacency and settle in se wo mu de omo sabi omunim bibia enti no ye betwa for omo so tabia say
okay obno he ma bin chim kakra me se nidie ni obuo kwan so your fellow members of parliament oni omo kasa na odi obuo ni nidie ma omo obi nkasa omo nim hwe bo ze mra se bedwa the experience ni yadwuma
okay
the longer you stay so what's na fie wo che na usua wo behu
okay.
Men kaso mu nim hwe. De me si sudua no se omunipa no be half afoforo.
Okay.
Into afoforo they will take time and so mutimi asua the body politics nankasa the chamber politics no. Apart from chamber politics no, you can study the rules, but to apply the rules no on the spur of the moment is not easy. And ya there from. Enti na de yesu yetimi asase dia ya mu hu ni se yedamono ase. Say 42 of our MPs 88 and 42 ye new.
Okay.
The iron is said ya cluster for all the 42 we put them in clusters. And every cluster has a mentor. In TBI, ya fa new MPs bear 6. Ni ye old MP 3rd term or 4th term back. No, almost shana say. Into no chrom.
Or don't fancy because my MPs be almost first time on my ball, my image with you. But was sorry na walk as any demeanor and composure and everything. What to our babies as a way or call your bear 3 near now for as a for Genome no more kikan.
Ya shed a chrom. Yet your not office a chrom. Your body language said your bekasa. Ubabe your contribution, how to start, how to conclude, the middle of the ya chromunina. And the mebo your mentors nas abaso. Biti say ya buama ogunde. A friend is saying Abu Jinaponium and penny phone, more boas idea ne coso. And yes, apart from you see, but you bet me actually be idea. So one money panel opportunity to showcase idea was here. What do you mean? The best teachers practice. Into your mom, when your mom sometimes near press conference, me back because parliament there was not even a single day I catch him some go for I catch him go press conference that. And it's always shown penny for no my year. This time your mom won't cast a control press text, no more dear ba. Near I did it, near more monks more ye, no more yet near guide you. So far, met me a kind of bear 15 on our side. I told you I can call them, they can stand in on any day for leadership. And only idea back where ye. And idea back also so as I walk why ye and say, your mom what yes, it's a competition. Justify your inclusion. It's the way I say, ye organ. Ewo abontin. Now ba no one swear the rudiment. No one who jumana. Nobody will give you recognition. Into share a committee near ye. You share that on purpose. For the first time, their first timers or we vice chairman or committee didn't see that. As for jail body didn't say, oh no, yet deputy ranking for foreign affairs. Samuel Uku, vice chairman for state interests. Why? The Queen, soon, or your deputy ranking for employment. Into your first time and sitting now, when you crown out your deputy ranking, into be pejo be or your penny mua, no my first time not understudy. So succession plan near build it and also to build their confidence. And I tell you, sir, it has also boosted their morale. Shall we can and saying, Ayariga, honorable Ayariga Bekan, sir. So na debate no se nipa ba ko kasa wo ye ho a nipa be miensa en kasa wo mo which is alien. It's very alien to parliamentary here because no more backbenchers now start complaining say any crofo yina na ba fie ha omo sorry amotimi kasa with confidence adena mo nko amotie ni mo mpera mo kasa and them say adwini nyansa nya de kro and you shooting it down. So in our backyard no metimi asori say and as I mean so metimi tell say number boomeni asafo jay anasa Gideon Boako anasa Kabiru oni made ameka chere so onye okay inti say itimi kura sade we mu a I know na maybe sustainability of it we will because the ameka sa ne say sankra so a omu pejai I wish say sade ne ma etoda bi a ya na homaso so settle in e woni pam we sua ohunu se wo hu kakra bi awie de be bi a kire no the minority chief whip baby a person hwepe no kokra no or better say that be say mahu enti munya. So how do we sustain it? Any pursue no any pursue ni nyina ye said you only panete when we say chief whip no apart from organization you are the fulcrum of the leader there no dey mo bibia no the command yeah ono da mo no era fe you no there man a chief organizer yes but chief whip no say wo hu obia empo kokomu nsam nipa ni constituency problem ye betima ko chamber na da krobi obi otai kasa wo chamber pa no why din. It is your duty as a chief whip to know ebi on kan also find the china or your intelligence no who say ebi obi ha na adwin on the constituency one mo. Sometimes mpenia so mo kasa bibia nko kan papa nje krede ebia na bibi tai no ene mo no so edan so ban bi edi. But the overarching motivation is our duty as politicians is to bring our party back to power. Of course. The ye nyina chiri no we nyina ye hu popoye the hia titiru ni se Ghana for party for do na ehwe anim se ye the party ni be ba ban mu na ni so ade hunu a ye war as a political party in the tradition yetima implement it. It is when also the okasa te sa ko na wo de utimi quote figures ye na intimi an translate into vote winning na so bi ani inya no nko a afesu so yes so yensa say apart from mentorship as I'm kind constituencies be a winning by a narrow margin. Ya faculty kwan be a for more share. Say kwan be so yes yes our constituencies no. Nti ni nyina ya tactics a yede ko na me forward feed ye keso ye mpanifo bi wo ha me be feed ye so se be bomb baso. Because I have been a successful whip.
Yeah.
Obi a me timia ka se sabio me nya kwenye bi se be bona baso ye pa red Dompreh.
Okay.
Na even when we're in government, no near kasa etuyefo ye ba opposition a bus strategy ye committee or near church kwai munye ni say you red Dompreh dear. In fact, metine so na sorry.
Oh, what sorry sampa?
Yes. Na uyo no fi hwa. Ade ba ko so a esan boy ye boni make chemistry.
Okay.
O say you rafenyo e wi ase dia danadani o. Obetu mo University of Cape Coast. No we mechi 2 years. And also no ye me penny.
Yeah.
But my brain me cheni penny age wise school me cheni penny but my brain me ho asia ma no. Me ko peja ma beti sabe adom ani nhira onyame na de ma.
Of course.
No onyame so na peja nipa. Onyame na ma ba akokofom na wo peja ba ako. Na so obi wo so na obo nsema na da achi bu so kosoro ebe bo nsema ma. Iti ma bre me ho asia ma no to the lowest level. Esan say ye wo ade kese bi we kunkrun bia bi ho ayeko. Nya fe na we peja obeti wo na wako school sin na ye den. At the end of the day, ono na partnership no nyam say oye ye kandifo. En say nyina den e bo na chidom. Na ye mi edu no. Chese insu obi ka say water no pass.
What you say?
Yet say
Sabi ba find form.
yet say minim ade ope. And I so ono so onim ade abepe. Onim de oya e be hye bi nkura ma me homo aba. Nti bia yakop chamber anope bia pese di show. Obedika ahimachi obedika send me message. E wodi mi opese me ye bibi pa obo be kradin.
Okay.
So kwabna we die. Mi jamo, mi say chief organizer no betima ya de no. Mi so dey for oni hwe me. My way also ye way manager the academy.
Okay.
Na sadia ne hyase if parliament. Tama answer na yewra osay men sabonsu be kono. Na me ne start bonde ye pa. Inti normal bebre ye pass your 8th parliament no. E kwaya ne e fa so timi hwipe numbers be pass ne hu. Once upon a time in kai nyina you are one of our members of parliament. Na ye ba be pass bibi. Eno ba me wono ka say chief web me Russia kwa shama ba na me say da bi enko oya so bra kire eno kwa shama o kai say ye MP ba ko benya kwanhia wo GIG ho no na de ba so me so de du sa de na bro hini so show ma me pass ma ba fa wo se akoto aba pa me mama aban elusi oboa because you lose speakership no and me di sin kan tam say erade akokwa mi fi adreji na maba sabio mi fie mechi ni medi bebi ni ho pa sabatina ha mankrofo egumani mu asepa de enye ye ti bi sam furu so sabi konkra me de be wo ho enti to de bia aya no munim da no yekohia edo mu ho no mo no omo se omo ba na meti dem omo nim kwa me fa so minim podua mini eduro
when some man for say identity ye jawa ma wonko a wodi ke enter
obi enja me soja fo no kro no obi re na bigina chamber ho soja ni no ojo no kita tuo gina ono ho no
I don't use nura na
me using ro
o yira
me yira hwa bro he se mi obi a mi ade si me so se me ya na ya de papa edin so betwuma adwe fi so atru bia me da office
jaw da ho
tru bia me frame you no ka yan se if you mean to me ma wo woni tua me da office me wonsuo me bibia o hono mo enti tama omo beba no tu okro me my ready na me ti chamber hono mo na obi a me waboa me a me ne ntiase ne koye pa eye era fenyo market and na me first deputy era Habib.
Okay.
Habib so chemistry ni solid. First omo de ba na me nhia no da. First time I ever be no hip. Me say, hey, na branch of infa. And I say, Paul our mountain will change you for Jerry so be ka ho. It is solid combination. Amo majority for anka so mo ka say nkrofo we die. Enya asem kuma. Say to the bia ye tenase edin komo an official conversation. But our team is solid.
complacency.
Nyame complacency embem. Bro hine complacency ye den bem. Already we are 88. Nipa near 187. It will be most unreasonable say you will get complacent with this ratio. How will you get complacent? Complacency embem da. The only time our complacency bem say you win power. That is when and no credit will come from the context of say oh ade na ohwe no saka nti ade o ji ho o ji ahome kakra. But before fidie kese so asha me party phone crying okunede but I say onokwafo ni de oni ahye adwuma pa ase na say adwuma pa no de be de o de be kwa wie pa
o ye sofo na
oh me Pentecost ni
okay
ya tete be Pentecost ni ya tete be Pentecost fie
me ba se ya na kwadwo bu ahen wo say wakasa ma na koma to ne yam and wonim say one day wo be mampanyi ni wo Ghana ye be din komo afa ho ye be din komo afenu abeka me ho a me pacho ha eya Asaasepa 107.3 ya tumpanjuma de ni ya no honorable Frank Annoh Dompreh ne din komo so wo ma do agiri mrasebedwani no minority chief on ne panyina ya ne no AD and komo ene few messages ma me kinkana ye ntoa enkomo so Prince I'm wanting was say wonimadwuma wo ye sehwe pampa na ni ate wo kasa yie pa Kofi neso ne dia odia bani wo say NDC dia honorable kasi subo no mabon mrasojafo no mkoye no bebre nim hute entimu nkoso anamunya adwumaden na bibia enkoso na kwadwo was man of wisdom wo say nyansa ewo timu ma wo say nyame nya okese pa da Costa wo say God bless you honorable Frank Annoh Dompreh da Costa Kroya wo say nyame nya okese Kofi Kroya wo say wadwunu mu do nyame nya okese ompija fra domu nko adomu da Costa di makenkan me ntimi ko bio Mohammed was say the greatest man of all time Chief Whip Annoh Dompreh nyame enya okese tia Samuel was say MP awo aniswadi hunu pa ye honorable Frank Annoh Dompreh you a great man of peace o pasumdue so nyame enya okese adwoantwa was say the mighty man honorable Dompreh na amele also was since our Dwaji is proud of you proud of you and you're proud and you're pride passion no why he need na antimakani or say nsawom Dwaji for omaniaje ewo ho pa tia Samuel was say adumawura Dompreh God bless you chief also ne dia wode aba eno no na kwadwo poku was say #Annoh Dompreh for president hey maybe I'm the kukuri there we bram pen one sem o procure friend me pem ho asem na kwadwo poku was the best sizeless MP ne dia wode aba eno no patro ma dia aba meje brand ni akinkan e dia ma honorable Sanku GH was say hard working honorable Dompreh adwo say was say nipa nyina nimdefo panyini Dompreh yamamu ene adwuma quickly ma yansan kono ni nkomo apopeta me be sia kinkan bio ye ba 20 lines no enkomo no ho national issues wo ho na afi ye wura MPP as a political party mu ebi mu ka say MPP always strong in opposition say mrasebedwafo no say party no power ya na ye hu abilities and capabilities are ewo mumu nimdi ewo mumu amodi ye adwuma say mrasebedwafo but party ne ba opposition eni hu pa ewo NDC MPP mrasebedwafo no why majority chief whip why be minority chief whip enti nipa ne de work no unim moti abemu na mo opposition so unim sa pepe na tie sem we strong in opposition than in power
in somewhere we some media mu adru pa but mebo modern so oboni ni die kwan so memo anu yes no kwasam ni se many feedi ya me di party nechi ade ba ko a me gidi yese aye edi enya aye se yankasa yakun ho ye tan ye ho for want of a better word ye tia yankasa ye ho ti se me nchirechirim bebre ye wa ban mu a ye tai etia ye ho me man fatu ho ba ko ni bienu bi obehwe na obi akokotai obi echi obi wo parliament wa sha ase afi no da ne ho adi kakrakra no be oye minister wako tiny panichi se tusako if mame tuni fra kunya zo bisanza menene nya adwene wo no ma bi ho emprend to na me pese be ma too many examples because they say no baby agina no etro na ye kasa bia nya kasa dio enkabombe den ebeba me am tena hai I was a victim nipa mienu tie omonu si mi so eye mayaka yaka die bebre
pe upon adwuma wo ye nyina
bon se onipa nyankopon etu me kasa na me ra ho se na me sori ahimachi be ye adwuma contract mi nsan bi de me adwuma ye ka kire bia ne se make sure say aban nwuma no ye be passe me passe mu nwuma mamo mo de ba na ma passe amamo na afa mu san kutia me etu bia na ha adwene na enye so hunu mayen me gidi se na aban so me ncheche mu me hye ne coat kakra to me ese to me me nya ho brase ese ati ase se ye maw to me a buno hene ye nipa bi na di to me a hye wonsa nti wa ho odin afi nipa bi ho na eba nti ese ye kai nipa na mo de sa ho odin ye dan e ma ye
yes obesi age ahodin no
se ye wo san kai ye na de bia no me ngidi se be nya problem. So
is it true say Mrasojafo for MPP Mrasojafo mu strong in opposition than in power?
Not entirely true. This is a problem. Fact, a incumbency. They are a part of incumbency problem. They see a minority for some more opposition on one way. Easy way. More opposition. To the extent that I'm going to put a quotation. So can you imagine? And I'm about by me. How will you do? It's a big crowd from Mutim, but it's a big crowd. So when you break pa, was from a patch or so you miss no afro of phones or no, Miss Dunyan Mucho. One year no Garcia, a year, a incumbency associated with incumbency. But Ubetimi, you can fight it if you have a strong leadership. Say government, a year the executive. Any the leadership of parliament, it's me, Juma Bomia, you can fight that. Yeah, and to be on your side, you know. Say, for instance, Obi about parliament for first term in parliament. Minister one mano border when you be no Obi wo Jubilee House, no or when a feature or Hana, who friend is on by parliament or ma
because Odi agree to no constituency.
So those were the issues. We don't hear it. And only idea.
And do the best in the person.
You not. Mimi kwa bebre tama na me kuma me mranche bujafo no sa na me nimsa me ankasa ma feature kura no
kuma obi no sa so de yesai
sa na yesu afidie wo me feature di tama mani ba me say hey sa na me na mugu e paso sa ehye that is the problem,
right?
And no dey
me talk free man yimra so bujafo na ya ba ya sitnam de bread and butter so bebre nkakra ewe ye fie mu but unua ba wadamfo emefa Hardcastle what's your name?
Oh Deb, okay, hey who can asem way
me can that bra
okay so afna me nimu no
hu ni bio
there be me hu ni bi but first time me hu no e Supreme Court na me hu no otiwo but no nge obi o madamfo nti me chia na me dey movie on but some ni siwie no obi a me very for pa na o me senior University of Cape Coast oba me nchen e be ka cheme so ne ewura no aye adwumada na ewura no on tisa into opa me chew me njai manenka na me so media nanka tama asem ni sie nanka sa no emma na mo wo mo side ni nyina ba me nchen bubu nkotojo me ni me wo kokom e be pa me chew na me so it's okay sabi nipa de e nyina yefom nti me jama naka so o feed them one no sign can the chain cry na me ko raise asem no chamber I came on that appropriate order say speaker nti bi nyahu bibi minim so the chop am afafa
but personally on one the empower chop
pa me chow them ho
okay
me magdi kan ka just me Pentecost ni nkontumpo de enya de ye oba dem ho no tama ye call conclave no oba dem ho ena obi kan yigbe na me respond ya yigbe no oh catch him say oh
so what yigbe
onim say me and I'm saying I was brought up in Volta region. It's now who for more than 10 years because University of we call Bishop Herman. It's me can't be casa. They say Grana say first but me can't put some yakani. Mammy asante papa actually. Into the we and into a maninyan or who said me can't be no and maninya onyanu hu bi na for hu dio ya no na say it's okay. Oh yeah, said you for musu ko na me so for me baby. It is some microphone ka some violent no. That day pa na ma kasa ominia. Atenie pa. Raw insult. Then am here. Yeah, veteran say omani ya madam for pa. Omani defense minister. Tell me ye news president no ba me ho. No so person ye news president. Na me coach ni kakra. In the time I pass and veteran be baso embaso no, I echo break and I said no, I have a personal relationship with him. Let me just assure him say it's not personal at him. Now we'll do it. Ti call ya minia. And now you could see but the demon yankupon. The course why I couldn't coding a year you must be mine.
Every must forgive, don't forget. Oh, the near day.
Oh, yes, it's the same. Meja manaka, but to be rent me fee. And then I'm a coffee. My wife was very angry. Oh, didn't the kunto kwanam so. And me, sir, very young couple wants to say only more coin. I mean, Kupima.
Okay. I was assuming bear me and search him. Na Ghana for decided say ye dia kunwa afna ma men kan sa be share John Dramani Mahama nsem na walidi en say mampani edu so aye say obe mampani de aboso me en sa ba atwam so far so good. O personal assessment on John Dramani Mahama as president, NDC government in power.
Okay, so personal assessment me fano afani afa di kind no o hwene kasa na said the nim ye John Mahama said your tie no the kasa no in the lead up to campaign no o hwe edu baby na ano ya yehye as na atenie ebe mu kakra the kasa ni bia na said the nim as a diplomat said your kasa no as a former deputy communication or rise ya be vice president o hwe ne kasa na the John Mahama we knew no the lead up to 2024 election assasa it's a sign. Baby Johanna said atenie bemu kaka kan sem ni bia but we can forgive him or enipa but oba bemu no inaugural message and even I think when he was installed we okoy papa Kufuor ho na me share exchanges and ma minya Arishemu bi said no this man may be different this time. Into down the lane, after him who said about parliament, even before parliament, I started rewriting my notes. State institutions is bit is a GRA. Now the yo yanko where the second honomo Power Authority, any other established state institution, even port ho near seizing Crawford, near yes, near boom Crawford, near attacking Crawford. No idea. Papa na you didn't just a stony silence. One man who said no. Adie enti mi emmase ye man pani adie ekoso wo kroyimu oni muhwe. Enti e mame stein adwen kese na na menya wono so papa ya fe de ni da so bi wo man mu. Ni na san ba fom. Enkosi se afa ye start se ye pam nkrofo wadwuma mu. Chief of staff Manoda sumina so awu kan ye o trotro krata ko se nkrofo ma ye adwuma ye yi omu nyina mfiri mu no na hu se menua
the same
the same kojo bibia no besesa it's not going to change. It's not going to change because me who say I'm call for renegotiation of IMF in some am kan some poto kafa MPP phone and we have criminally managed the economy. And then almost show my budget, my growth projection, almost 4.7.
New house economy, a growth 5.7.
Yes, 3.5, and we grew it to 5.7. Wow, what's the resetting? Resetting is rather retrogressing, and I will target it 4.7. It's been my impressions so far, no, it is on and off. Oh. Otimi yes or a diplomat or kakasapa no sandi bibi a boom and on one front or the farm on Crawford. You can't tell me say chief of staff a letter. I could say in Crawford you tell me the president doesn't know about it. No, it can't be. The president knows about it. And money real fee in summer kesek. Me I thought the first John, second John, third John. Oh, just one term. Ye bibina Ghana for fanya de enfant Kyle.
Ye Japadie bi.
Yes. Who they say? Bro, enye Japadie mpoa. Jadim pabi. Say wo. Once the campaign can say no maybe a president for ntimi anye no. This time Obabeye sadie ni na. And no buy a sadie ni na kwa na ekonechi. Inti media agrobe so a efranopa. Bibia de na di se oni bibi foforo bia de mayen.
Okay.
Say omo ba be yi nkrofo edi se de omo ye di no. No mo di NDC for a shedwum. That's what they're doing.
Bibi wo ho a mrashibujafo mbetimi aye di aboa Ghana this year na because we have kra wa wie wabra fa chechefo ntete ebiem wa wie ebia mekan abusua sebofo no no on edidi ma abusua bi edi wo wie ne ya postu no ebi wo bon ye na bankrai na ko tamale wa ko han dan wo han dan wie ye NDC abanse ya pamo sign ko mrashibujafo mu ntimi nye bibi mfa mwa
won say yeah okay so adie di kan ye adie for the motion so the parliament itself no ebe ya different resolution.
Okay.
Now a decision binding on parliament to take it. It's your motion you file, you know. There say be a debate. Na speaker mon cobra. Into your baby me be say but a lawyer force me we can there are other ways per se faso.
Legal redress. Legal
and also diplomatic.
Okay.
You be approach chief of staff in akasa. Say you don't know to be so here more parliament one. So 88 I am focus micro minority one a two baby and I'm quorum quorum no more patch up. So you need the other side. And don't forget the outside world, the IMF international bodies on your jumano. So pass BB or parliament. Not the minority for no, you don't get their supporter. They tend to question you. So no more mobile passing, no more baby. They need the minority. They definitely need us. And I will Kasami show. I put myself in their position. So we are school. I for a being from Bobusia. Bobusia. Miamiti here is a last born of 6 guys. Now, me tam kesiye se me ko university Panaminia. Bobusia. Me ka University of Cape Coast. Me baga me ko University of Cape Coast. Upeja kosu se na bebo fon kunkuru bibie ni. Na sa sem wo ye ba radio studio kan ya bi mu twese ya ananse sam na ye kadapi ni pabre na so bit mi fasad no ma wo mu nyina awie no wie school. Na anya bia Ghana na ye NDC fon ko ade ananse sen. MPP ye wa ba mu ni eni nkrofo bi on ye NDC fon mu ye adwuma. There were so many sensitive positions and NDC for known NDC for no mu ye adwuma. Ye yomodi. Dia cost no at time. Now you see onipa onchirebo ena ye bokwa me nkrumadi ni abo buzi adin ni abo mpanifo din ni abo ewrakofo din ni abo ewra na adudin niema bi omo be ye akoye twaka sa na meka no etari o man onye de kai omo nti ewra jo mama den ye de be kai wo wo be se yakasa wo ni o man pani a wo ba ya nkrofo bo abuburo esi a penny kese wo man yi mu already you need legacy bia ye papa kofodian ye bo cocoa mass spray ye bo school feeding
national health insurance
health insurance
free maternal care
ye bo
grant
etc ye bo era Rollins din he came to also emphasize the rural electrification, rural development, Buzia national service project, rural electrification.
Okay.
Ye bo Kwame Nkrumah di obi animo bibi tare ne ho e de kai no.
Ye bo na do dia free senior high school.
Wo de wan kai hwe kra free SHS de wo ho. Nti ye papa owura John Mahama dan ye betimi dia bodi.
So den confirm by.
En confirm amutu ko boki na yi. Na wo de ye ka obi ye free SHS, obi see factories ahodo, obi ye rural electrification. Na wo de confirm. I don't confirm the year we feature say you never to confirm me. And an confirm na ye breed be about a bimba we asida. It ebe panicho. You see, we want to make a passionate appeal. And you see, Papa Nankasa.
Well, mommy, who dream me and Miss Rinya me say, maybe a wee scanny freebie. I won't show a name. Producers not prompted me say, teachers for no mobile, no. One more movie be cacrase or Mufam Faka and Kofi. Na me nyoka say, meet me mama.
Mammy Cassim win show. Be him say, Onipa, or more than Cassia Paya doye.
Okay.
Mekaisa me co University of Cape Coast. Na me papa police ni onya ni baby ko. Wasi kwa na me mane doso. Ampeni ampaso no doso pa. Wasi unia no nyina wo na otwato. Enti kokko ye adwuma foforo ko tua adwuma bi. Na so ma bombodin pa.
O ma unko university because can who e be hwe
obi hunu philanthropist. Obi amihia no obonti o hwe me results pe no tua me school fees man. Enti de bia no se mi wo bi nko adea. I try to give.
Na me nyoka say producers in the team now say
enti binia ye wura John Mahama ye panichew. Yes, ranu ye kitakoto ne asrewa. Ye panichew for the sake of our country.
Okay.
On mine way ye your Ghana. What be di mampenida? Oh, you see, so ye po be or ye politically experienced pa because of occupy political offices. Obi nobody comes close to you until you are the last person to be suffering these things. Ye de chow ne be pano. But ye man so ha. Ayako ayano ayasa edu baabi a. Ye ba tito kwa no.
Okay. Right, yeah, share Reverend Team for Joe. What you saying?
The way pa. The way pa, and Team for Joe is one person, Nipani be Nimuno. Or very firm. And 7th Parliament, over 7th Parliament. And coincidentally, I tell me, Foreign Affairs Committee chairman, not a member of the Foreign Affairs.
Okay.
Or you'll be on Kaka. You can meet me a committee meeting, be a bear 1 hour team for John Kasa. But so could be no one in a swa. You can't stop him. Sana me the minimum. Now, Bia or Yebia, he has the fullest of blessings of the entire minority caucus.
Motanechi.
The Tanechi pa. Ye Tanechi papa won't come with Tanechi. Ah, no, and I before some Mukonifio. 107.3. Mimi nya information anka so no cry frame me. Ne ni tie ni agirane puno no.
Wo nya information frame you.
Oh, so say enye de bomofo ko wire mi nyina no be fi obebeka. Me to be disclose. But make me catch us say we were platforms bebree so. We were platforms dey sana mekan. We platform bebree so.
Yeah.
And na me won namfofo bebree. E bi NDC for true NDC. I'm here now for you didn't come on. You see, the fact you see politics mommy and fair. Some be party A now or party B, not just say a time for. And there should be a common denominator, regardless of our party persuasion.
Yeah.
Some more party B na party A, na BB koswa edio mining ya, SATB can.
Abra yanko bi akasa bonche.
That's right. Na mo dia bu kire wo kromi. No, Mom dream say you refuse. Mu can ya die say papa Kufuor. Mu di na tempo can say gold a war man ye wie ni nyina. Obi am mu point. Na sa plane air made in same way. There are a lot of questions they say busa.
Right, but what mamo Reverend Team for Joe, oh yeah, minority chief whip. What brief one can be say work evidence A, B, C, D. And more true support to now say just suspicion.
It's not suspicion. You see, Unia, say in the aviation industry, you sorry Kenyan kasa. In the aviation industry, bro, answer na flight eba BBC. Your process be a film. Your ebesia, your process be a faso. And he said all the protocols are existing protocols are established by law. Are kind of why establish it. Not particular flight BBC. No more compromising on those key requirements as part of the protocol. It raises suspicion. You may not have hardcore evidence said your drugs and as a money laundry or the ura play anymore. But ubusa questions, no questions, no multi more no ya. you tend to have a reasonable suspicion say bibia kwaso. And they have a responsibility to tell Ghana for say at the end say net here. In some you rap for so for su kwachi be kan ni nyina no. Ye boy chire nsisi so. Na bro doesn't it beat your mind say Obeka say mampani on his Facebook wall. Or the betu dwa kan say omni be corporate security agencies in the other relevant agencies no. Omni in team for Joe and corroborate. They should collaborate and corroborate. Adiachiana Yera Felix so at the radio so a press conference rubbish more kind. That's an indictment of the president. Now the ref he said the constitution says that president ultimately delegating executive power through his subordinates. Into your minister for communication, you speak for the president. Assembly who can be as a president ekasa.
Of course.
So at one breath, yes, at one breath, president said, collaborate. At another breath, you have jumped the gun and say that Woody na sofu moko you are or use a word clown. I mean, FIFA. Now you see, they should know that pride comes before a fall. No more dear, I'm a fall leader. Shall see and tell do. No could be a bind be at least 1 year or 2 years now. No master no say being koye. But mo die de bosumi nsiam pom ba da me mbo mudua by next year bro you know na wokrum ha bo scandals a be
right. Reverend Tim Fojo Asemba no a point in time now it seems like ye ja wo no nko but later we said that be munyina mo sorry then a trigger sa edom kuma ye nyina ye support ye nyina ye ni nachi because of evidence what they actually mo so we the concrete evidence say you take the crown the tail end no and confirm guasiemre
bro minority we are so disciplined say you cannot get up no a press conference without an endorsement from leadership. No, maybe for the sake of Fidi Kasi let me catch you say the first press conference or year you know me no di kind misusu or friend me na me friend leader because leader has a final say in this matters. But you can't catch us a media, but you're born in the man penny. Into your friend, you know. You say, me as a child, I'm more accessible. The leader, dear, a 2 year dear near Cocos, Irina Cocasa. It's your friend, you know, name is Susu Assembly. I'm saying, no, go ahead, send me the draft text. Or send him a test, me reading when I'm sending my leader. I'm saying, what is your opinion? Should we go ahead? No, go ahead. And at the essay, the man who gave him all the support, no, first one. Or first one, you know. So we are now you give the feedback. In your feedback, say, no. Yes, you fair your boy assembly did all our checks in who's at the no crebium. Yes, say she and the beam. Yes, there be take it from this angle. But we sumbremu, but we won't So you fight from the fringes. Now, in the next coming weeks, especially raising critical issues about Asaasepa. Bronya. Bibi o say media near be questions. There are a lot of questions that national security has to answer.
One kakra say aban betina kunwa so within 3 months 4 months cocaine some adults who kruma kepkos $350 million street value of cocaine. Secondly, $150 million. Ebi mu wie kra say MPP fo na ma sheda say mo de cocaine be remu na edifin abata NDC abandin.
Oh, obi obeka sai bia ye hudu hadansam 7 prediasa. Say asa wodo onsa tia echiro obi so. Onsa de aka ni nyina akire wo so.
Okay.
Inti say if that is the case, say sa na tia. Na che sa ban wonim na adwuma ye. So no can say MPP for mum ye cocaine. Any buying way has no business being in government. Because what it means is that your borders are porous, you are not on top of security issues. Now how would you sit down and a government like NDC but now say MPP 4 no more credit people yo they call state institutions could di nyamna. It is not the case. They know about it. Omunim hubi.
Omu ya wa of cocaine na chichi.
Oh, minia. Omunim hubi. Omunim baby efire. The wire no nim baby ohye. So, the wayera ne ehwe no onu pe no nim baby e dey o hye na unia so ma me kwan am say umbre ni susu a yehwe budget no omo ba ye to be yeah, the big push, yeah, the 24-hour economy, yeah, the Women's Development Bank. Otubo now kind budget now. Say there's a lot of deception. Big push, Amoka big push, $10 billion. Koshe budget anymore. No details. Details be
as to the this can be
you obey I want to chop. My catch was a next year scandals. I said TNA. I face my 24-hour economy. So I dear no. Obia on your own interpretation of what 24-hour economy means. I'm already candidate J. Mankasa can say and your compulsory. I dear your compulsory, which lets him say, then we appoint somebody at the presidency
to be in charge of
24-hour economy. She said, we're free for budgeting. There was no a single statement for 24-hour economy. Muslim Baba Women's Development Bank. My allocation of 51 million Ghana cedis. And now we hear banking lines is you need 40 billion. Yes. It's a grown money. And I'm telling you, say you better want to and in the coming weeks, this is where the minority is going to focus on. And we have a team, economic management team, solid economic management team. The next time I hear the press conference, you invite diplomatic community, and we are going to have a banter, an interaction. We say, no, we have a better version in terms of the management of this country, and we can do the job better than the NDC are doing.
Right. Yanko party mukakra, but before I even intend to party mukakra, no, yebeja wenche, yebeko party msisia. And answer about party muno, my main faka crab in Frabontin, NIB, Jumedia Woody of late. Ubehena Yakobi fie, the true. Ya kata ye nim over here will be a drum na yakoho anya ba ko mienu is becoming one too many. Should it be a national concern?
It should be because you see nipa bone so betimi e de omo adan afrem amboko di nipa wu aye ne enyamransem ne ayakayaka de esem me gidi yes you've taken the matter up ye ba no dani any national security coordinator edi hu nkomo say no enye sa na ye no and after the titiru enye Mrashebi for Kra Ghana ni bia uko kan constitution. I think chapter 5 fundamental human right.
Yeah.
But down where the friend is a right to life, dignity, and a nominate constitutional provisions. And no yet directive principle of state policy. No one can say they are not justiciable. These are justiciable provisions in the constitution. We have adopted a diplomatic approach. I am the National Security Coordinator. Yabano Dani is in charge of that. So there should be a civil way to go about it. Especially as a member of parliament, or some immunities that should be respected and recognized. If you hear him say, no more timia day, a jai, and for so biamba. But on him, a diversionary tactics.
Quambezo.
People buy or buy so baby juma or buy who said no. I adwuma no mentimi nye me nkrofo me appoint you muzuzu kra na mu hu adwuma no so
dwamfa katashi
ma memfa ayi bi mfefefem na nipa na o se bi o mu raise issues playing prudent and patriotic oversight me divert your attention no so continuously so or pick up mu nkrofo your focus will go there. Bring na me boa.
Of course.
Your focus will go there. No so nya your friends and freedom. No so nya no mo ye. But is yanko siaga. Ko do baby wa obebre. Unsa bejine. So there are issues I see raised and we will continue to raise it.
Right. Mama mra pipi mo kakra. Sa storm you who say ABC because we will be a word politics ache eba MPP mo a make us what pay reduce. The nipa beye wa ye ugusu a wo ye a onhume ye sa defeat we hu se eba na
no hine the questions there be on say you running internal surveys a number of internal survey national security ye be at a point in time the last survey ye you hu say presidential was head to head.
Okay,
it was head to head. Nana parliamentary they were leading, parliamentary seats were leading. NDC for nankasa they told us So okay, well, so parliamentary no munti they should focus on John Mahama because I want to head to head no one so that they can at least get the presidency. This was shocking. Yet na yenim say yem crofo buafu kakra bufu ho. But yan hwe ni mu se ha say baby this is Santa Regina pay 2 million say nkoto aba. It has never happened. Inti yan hwe se besisa. Obie no obeka so hu se bibi sa besi. Yes, because me hu ye party na me boa. Even my own consistency. Edu baby am so ke MPD de eja ma presidency na de kwakope. Na fe to abawia me na me was struggling to win my seat. We free high say o nipa be 500 100 pen aba to aba. Me say hey, abo be 4. Makoja Chrome is nipa 100 pen out to aba out of a registered voters of 700. Me Fred Amai almost nipa 300 now to out of about 1,000. And we said, no, we have a problem.
Leader, MPP for be kase yema Dr. Laji Mahmoud Bawumia Zaimra na umelidi MPP to 2028 elections. What do you
Media
or your personal opinion on Dr. Laji Mahmoud Bawumia?
You know, I'm like his boy. Me GDA say if it's not broken, you don't fix it. If the thing is not broken, we don't fix it. And your party must say what tradition be. It's first time is difficult, you know. Oh, no more my banging na papa Kufado, papa Kufo. Obi no we need first time that. And especially this time, like very difficult because we're seeking to go beyond 8. It is hana me de me huno. And they say in fact, the previous one, you know, BSC Mudia Gro come out, but they say no dear. There should be a diplomatic way, especially I'm a leader. You are expected to whip members. It is a member Gina Simpiasu to Franca, I can't say the Pebia, Obi Echi, I mean to know.
Of course.
As some SM shed coat kakra for the sake of the unity of our party and also for us to heal wounds and move ahead. Right.
Menim say MPP believe e wo normal miensa reflect, rebuild, recapture. Kwan be na party ni fa so reflect. Do say yati committee say omunye nhwemudi nti a MPP lose ye. Kwan be na party ni fa so rebuild na kwan be na party ni fa so recapture 2028.
So far the process is ongoing. Na in times past na ye di enkomo wa bonten. Enkomo ni bebre hwe na da bonten. Say retreat. Obi anti say I'm babedwam.
Yamoko
details number bonte. We yam for media and call ye no strategic. It's part of the rebuilding. And committee on what general secretary so by share MPs. So there's a lot of discussion going on, especially they say existing structure. No, yeah, say we can send ye and can send ye, you know. Flag bearer, I say in terms and no money there's a lot of discussion koso. And sir, you see, every democracy is regulated. The Westminster system and the American system are and yet the BNA is all twaba. Some of the places we can regulate it. May democratic. I'm say twaba. But you see a baby agent say you MPs 88. So you manage primaries ni you move and know that you take leadership is part of the rebuilding. So we must get SC national chairman or Tisadi and say SC general secretary obiti in say si wo hwe maybe am can't ambotwa some na nkofo once upon a time me have a young man in this party let me tie crossfire.
Yeah.
Now one of our lead voice Kakra Samoa back crossfire, no argument for the new patriotic party. Solid. Ye Atamels as a candidate. Then Kakra Samoa declared for Atamels. Or say recruit me. When Fee Studio Hawk and a Damboche, and we in the Fee Party. Sir, discipline in our party. A too much Juma or yet party. That's our time on. Most of me, my polling station, a Juma. My Tescom, my regional. Youth organizer. Number ye down constitute, be ye juma down constitute. Sa time no be a mouse ka. Ye would them post a dambucha fra wa small sa kwa ye juma wa hanamo. Sa ahofama no ese etimi fa de babiem se ebetimi ababiem a nyame ye adom no obie puma kwan mu na ye babiem a yen kaya mo a mosom party e wo no kware mu hwe se nipa bebre o party mu sa ye ba ban mu a obi wo hu ni mpoda adwuma ye wo hu no se ye da ayi parliament because upia ebe attack on tiasie into party for ban in China he can't appreciate the problems. Nina, you see, a chain of issues. For be as a minister for youth employment and as a minister poor. You need a party to constitute government.
Of course.
Party ni wa abayin ni ho. Inti ubeya abayin. Now, because then it becomes there's a gap between government. That's where the problem starts. That's where the problem starts. And a lot of it is appointment. A lot of it is appointment. I know to what intent and purposes, and this form that said you can never. Me treaties I deal with some time back. Meaning punim pubi. Most no parliamentary service board. Until near call NCSL or US. Meaning the trying play move over 10 hours and we spoke. I want him said the man who ran. Now it's becoming clear. And when Timino, Julius Debra and Timmy I said in Katia. The only advice I'm doing my party for because I said in Katia never no BS. Mr. Debbie. In a war, no, you don't underrate your enemy. 107.3. Don't forget this man, why a MP da? Why a general secretary da? Why a chairman of a party? Let's give him some credit. Now let's prepare to banter him. Let's get our tactics right, get our candidates right, and we'll defeat them. But so Bezo was here doing Ketiana Banti, we are. You'll be laughing at the wrong side of your mouth.
ABC delegate system, expanded. ABC yema all card-bearing members of the party. And to aba wakwa so and your first time so ye to so aba no uno mo yadwen
expansion, yes, but you see expansion to what extent?
Okay,
that's the question. That is a critical question. Expansion obi agitum say monetization, that says this food chiska the packet to be na kwako jiska no mo kan ebufu shewa ba be yomu, but oba expand akoko si saying that's a problem. And as a bisu make argument said we should get a research team to do a candidate search. In the UK, you know already primary so I'm to be a candidate search, as a candidate when a bit me winning seat in a mind. There's no need for us to go run the primary. Yes. National Council of our party can decide based on research. Oh, and you say the kokromotibe him as a win and persabe. But once there is empirical evidence Kwajo menu, there are some constituencies be on one. Ebia, baby to say a contombra. A contombra, there are a number of settlers there. Kusas is for Hobibre. Because it's an Akan region and constituency, you'll be tempted to think, say, I said, you can't. But so way numbers now you look at the data now who say yenya kusasi ni they are in the majority and not bit me winning seat na maya, then we have to go for that person. For all you know, it's almost subjected to in a strict sense co primaries bia nipa no wo sika bibi won say bit me winning primaries you don't know bit me winning election na maya. Okay, so these are the pros and cons. Back to your question, say expanding and now we have to decide they expanding to what extent. Me de sikatria ne de eyade a esi ejai emwan wo kwan bia so but a kwan ben so ne be fa because first no more rainfi na the number was limited and you increase it of 555 no
yeah
say bi mo san ka say yenye 15 if you multiply by the number be average me ko say na mo polling station for over 1000 Inti be some increase ya 15 na ko do be enfan say be 3000. There are people who can still pay their way through the 3000.
To them say ebie mu no kra mfa so bi ama so because say enkrofo betimi atwi asa iska.
Inti say wo bie mu a na wadwene hu ye say wo bie mu a you'll be able to stop that monetization no. Because wo bie mu wie na de abo be 2000. Na nipa ni twa iska. Oba delegate kukum no de be mo. Now, so the money per 3,000. Now we registered voters of 100,000. This 3,000 cannot represent 100,000. So a very dicey.
Issue of ye BM and I am a issue of ye BM saying
ye BM saying. And elections, no, yes, you control elections, no. I mean, Nima Dintia leadership in parliament, critical people in parliament, they be ranking members of Muyejuma or parliament to be home as the face of the party. Be a Nippon or Buffalo. Me Fantum be Asafo J, Samir Wuku, Kabiru, when a mama Buffalo, no more yard, you say. Was a young Coco Tuamo. Parliament, the experience that they build the parliamentarians. International, as a party, no, in its wisdom and national council, as some dominance.
No more stampy authority.
No more stampy authority. Omokoya research don't say say Samia Wuku anase Asafoje so nye bibi boni e be ma lose seat ni dia. E ye maintain no.
On corner post.
Hwe ato forcing. Ade ba ko a asedu nketia ya ade ho pa. Okasa wie. Ebi be ka say bia onye democratic. Ato forcing na ko obi o ko fast forms akọ challenge no. Or Fred Kachos on no ye leader in parliament. Or lead the minority. Who could challenge this thing? And no need to mean your party.
And ya catch some in the doors.
A leadership, and ya catch some. So catch it, you'll be a party, be our catch it. But the leader should have the boss. So wait,
party leadership.
Yes, ain't in your pet. I see two abanima, very good people who understand these things. Obi o catching on tiase or you say to no so ban je say 2 MP bia so ban.
And then crop of leaders also see ya no mun prudent enough na.
Because someone ye bi. We have to look at them again. Ebi wo mu a say ye beti mo say ababiem. Baby wo also say dani mu kakra. Ebi wo say dani mu kakra.
Leader na so bidwafo no ne pa minim say concerns we nyina which we rezi mo no mba jojo to make sure say sa decision partner take amana boa party no money o muntem te say
me gidi seta me wa ban mu antimi enwie paye se say de ya no sa se baby a woti etro waka sa opieto ne ewura yi se unka ho mbom de ne se na wa wasamwa first no de na enye kra na enhye da nye sa but say no de me hu se bank kanka the unity ba reforms si omo ne discuss omo busa ye input ye call workshop your mobile general secretary general na so almost 3 hours you put you questions or chirechirem yenye ne say the kakra na wo na party mpanifo bi say right down botwere mu na wo hobby ye wura I think JB omo nyina betena hobby so kakra no wo bank kakra say shemukina let me we pay
right meras mami atwete lines ne say ya bia no bi obi bia o peso bisa on 057-777-1073. Honorable Frank Annoh Dompreh that one, so almost to a gym should be joining no minority chief whip. But my final question, I mean, activity lines, from majority chief whip to minority chief whip. Who is a DBA through one?
Okay, so sometimes I don't be ready for kakra.
So now you drink so you.
It's not me. Just me and you say, "No, my guys are now grow up, but minority. You won't know which is the Indian man." But it's okay. Crack.
No, maybe address a full receipt concern. Be meaning so. Open say. Comment here.
First of all, serial callers. Papa for us serial callers. No, moments show. You be through the party leadership. You be the debate. Me be. I said you know party in a opposition. Members of parliament in your crew. Puno hinin Ablekumanov ye 2 na mo bebre edu baby a say IGP emma security omre no phone and old IGP okoye Annoh Dompreh ko new IGP say be hia no animanimi ya e ba be hia no na because he sina ye former release some do moyo modwuma gina 7.3 so mo declare na police protection amope na anti-sanity. I just of was some maybe GD say me pese me comment wo ho bebre baby a party ne ejina no etro me pese me ni be banta me won cheche mu bebre o but emu hia peni say ye die hia and say ye die fata enya dia me pese me ba be bu bebre on de wakana small on canon ko de hia me titiru sesei e nkabu mo be ba party ni mu na ahoden foforo betimi take this government on said the be ya said you ya ban be ban no ade ne hia me be chirichi sanse mu enfamfa so bia emba nti e ho de be be so ho
right and obi so raise concern kakra say what presidential ambition be na
Bono hine medi onyankopon hata so ebe paucho so the mama ndi me nkwe kakra onyame ne si hine wanhwe ya mimfi ha krandu fie na ye de kontimba bia bomitiri mu opan so the mama ndi me MP so onyame ne mre ene mre pass no akase o Dompreh se o di MP up acha inti kopa bi fufura minti mi nya me ho president minti mi nya me ho vice president onyankopon ne beye inti mesro
but say na ye candidate bi no afa say running mate obesum
well ayosum na eno no emre ne nda onyankopon ne be kire onyame ne be kire bi de menimu an se sisi ade ehia me ne se will constitute the majority in parliament.
Okay.
And then we'll form the next government.
Okay.
Now, a Herculean tax.
Okay.
Because nipa na ye ni omu sia kan no sabrio omu ni ye ni no omu ye o hwa bato e course na ye hu se omu kuta adwen foforo bi. But bibie ni wiase a se wodi wa adwen siso na wo wa adwen koso na wo bo nyankopon pae na wo ye adwumaden a entimi mbam ebebam
right
kwan mo fa so munya 187 no ye be so be fa sa kwan na so in any way possible to increase our numbers papa ba ko to conclude no can say oni me nya adwen se me ento aba nye sa na me kan but no so tie me kan say where there is a data and a research say particular candidate be no betimi wi I don't know the day say seat in a person
of course
be say nya majority seat it is a bibia say way na betimi a party to me decide say okay ma we nko me nkase party ni ntenase no mu impose candidate nye sa na me party
because so mu nye survey no mu
hu say
sa di panama for pen nko ade there's no for
the contest but you see contest here yakoi I don't know the day you be twetwa hu se kan sa say sika ni nyina we hu afa ko the main election akade e dey say the kokuntokwa ni edibi intenu na say hwe ye me ma adwen kakra wo me kire ni ebia na one me nya adwene so dodo na adwen say ni enkoye na why not
only address for personal beef bia na
oh them personal beef meaning ni buno he be diba be brain ni me ye o me yo bia they are very strict me ye tete me wo baras me papa me late father police yes ade na kuntuma etuntum e fita meaning ni personal e bia o betimi afre no say me no wo personal problem meaning ni personal problem but you see me a disciplinarian me papa o sheda training me pa ade na tuntum aka say tuntum e fita so no aka say fita meaning ni personal issue bia no meaning ni issue bia and medical aka say enhu hi asema betina radio so na party say mo ba be kro no wo pa efisem na wo be kro no radio so emfa so bia ni so me de omo kan bia so blame bia omo de ma bia magiatu
okay yes sorry Ghana 40 MPP 40
me mo ma me fa sabi yetu na mo bebre na anu aba ekotu ye niema kohwe guye na nyi se na nyina ye peno na abrabo de tore bia sa netie kukuru wi ase kodanda amane bebre ni nipa famu nanso so no we nye ade a akoko beka se ade akoko hu dani awumewuo. Once upon a time, your party yet now opposition for 30 years. This is a tradition. Yam for two and for giant. Ye kaya summon kakranka say you ra J Kufo ebe breaky jinx na eba bemu. Mumma yen do doye say ade here titiru enye koka we aba radio so we say sa sembi wo hwa me kan afisem. Se me na maye boni bia ka che nipa no e wo fie and better radio so mama yen horo ye ntade a ye fin e wo radio so emfa nsunsun so papa bia emre yen na yenya gidie wo yemu Bro, so we be na GD anymore.
Untiminye.
Mumye GD say. David ejina Goliath enim ka chene say, me hu so de atu ni sekan e na eba me so. Na me de osafo ewurade tumi e na me de ba so. Ebia na nipa na one omokono mo doso. Omakode no sususu akese. In the same contest, NDC for 187. Now no omo so di gina ho omo bebre kwa. Omo doso de, omo akode doso, omo wa aban to me time which executive power a time which sikania hoɔden time which ba ye de nukredie ene pepere ye ene adwumaden ebedi nkunim e de ama party de ama Ghana na ye mrantie e di party de nim sisi wo parliament myself miankasa ye ba no dan ye wura fanyo marking ye nua pani Patricia PJ miankasa Annoh Dompreh Habib Idrisu Jerry Ahmed Yasai Fruso, and then by extension, all the ranking members and all the chair. Say, a maybe Bawa party more 61 members of parliament. Omuji Dim, the Hackmans, the Jade Mensa, the Aprekus, the Osafumafus, the Juma Mo ye, no more Hunamni Moja to say Yanyada. Mumayan Yiri, not that she be when the history of Trabako Sabana. Because a mrantie bi bedi party nim near ye just 88 Saturday bi kwani akoya crèche ne TV asibiem omo sakra no memu e ma party di fan into ma pefra eno ne ade e person mo de kai
we are simple Abo Frank Annoh Dompreh medical cultures were penny dues in MPP were penny dues in Ghana very simple noble honorable